This story is about how I robbed people. And I didn't, I'm not the kind of person to be violent about anything. So if I say I robbed somebody, I did it in a really sneaky, conniving way. So at the time, I might have just freshly turned 21. And also, I was living in this tiny little studio in this popular tourist town. And so it was a huge party atmosphere all the time. And it was small enough that you can walk anywhere that you needed to be. So I would get off of work sometimes and come home to my little studio box and, change clothes and then just start walking around and grab a beer and just walk around and drink and talk to homeless people and kind of hang out on the streets. So I was able to pay for that apartment because I was working in construction and I was getting paid pretty well. In the apartment building that I had lived at, I met a girl. We just kind of clicked, I guess. Like, I think we were both pretty nuts. And so there wasn't any romantic feelings there or anything like that. I wasn't interested in her, and I don't think she was interested in me. But, we became friends, and we would party together. We occasionally would visit her uncle, who managed a hotel. Well, I don't want to get too specific. So, anyways, it's not important anyway. So, she basically, it's a weird way to say this, but young women like that, I was maybe freshly 21. She might have been the same age. The doors open for young women like that. Especially, she was pretty, boisterous, very confident and everything. And so, if we were walking down the street, she would talk to anybody and everybody. And then, of course, if there were guys, they'd be like, "Whoa, what's up? What's your name?" And, try to get with her. And she didn't mind the attention. I don't know if she really, craved it as much, but basically she knew. And she's like, "Dude, look at these fools." Okay. But it just kind of blew her away that guys would just turn into stupidity around her when they were trying to talk to her like that. But so anytime we did anything or went out, it would just get crazy, out of hand. And this one night is one of those nights where it just got crazy. This might be towards the end of us hanging out, but here it goes. Here's what happened. So somehow, now you have to understand, back then being in this tourist town, I was kind of artsy, because I really wanted to do artistic stuff. And so I might have looked kind of an interesting person. And in this town, you don't know you don't know who you're dealing with. So it's if somebody looks, it's sometimes you go to New York and you just see these people and you're like, you're somebody. I don't know who you are, but you're somebody. And I feel like some people look at me like that, and even though I was nobody. But anyways, the only reason I bring that up is because she somehow got us dinner. She knew somebody, or somehow she talked to some rich dude who probably was, living his best life, I guess, older guy. And somehow we ended up at this super nice restaurant having dinner with him and his younger girlfriend and 4 or 5 other people. And at this particular restaurant, first of all, I felt super out of place. I definitely was on my best behavior. This place, right after dinner, I guess I get closed at maybe, the restaurant maybe closed at maybe 10 or 11. it turned into a club in the back, like in the back kind of thing. It was kind of open anyway, but I think then it was like, all right, now the restaurant's like, all right, bro, we're gonna party. And I was like, that's my Fannerstein. And so we all go to the back to this like club. And, you know, if you heard my other videos, it's like at this time, I was a huge opportunist. I took advantage of people a lot, but I never did it to their faces, you know, because that would be too much for me to deal with, and I didn't I didn't like confrontation. I was like just a worm, you know. We get back to the club part, and now my friend, this girl, I don't know where she's at. She's fine, you know. But I end up sitting in this booth with all these people that we had dinner with, you know. People were getting up, people were dancing, loud music, dark, lights, lasers, whatever, you know what I mean? And so I look over and I happen to see that one of these people from dinner had this woman, girl, really, she's probably a tiny bit older than me, but she had left her purse on the seat. Like, and it was a big booth, like a big circular, half circular booth, whatever. So, you know, the wheels start turning in my mind, because I'm like, okay, purse, unattended, take something, you know, steal. And so I kind of opened it. I'm not sure if I saw exactly at first what was there, but there was a wallet, like a wallet, or, you know, I guess a woman's wallet that a wallet. And I was like, oh shit, bro. So I took it. I took this wallet and I beelined it for the bathroom to the place. And I get into the bathroom and I go to one of the urinals, and they have the little dividers and stuff, so nobody could see what, you know, your junk or anything. But that's what I had the wallet. I was pretending I was peeing, but I was opening this wallet, and inside was then maybe 4. So it was a lot. It was like, at that time, this is a while back, but this is a lot, because like my rent, that could pay my rent for a month, you know, $400 maybe. And I was like, oh shit, like instinctually I took the money out and I put it in my socket, and I closed the wallet up, and then I went right back through the table and put the wallet back at the post. And I'm thinking, okay, you know the name, like, oh man, perfect crime. It wasn't a perfect crime. So at this point, I'm probably feeling, you know, I got alcohol in me. We're partying. I got 400 mutts in my bucket and in my sock. And I'm having a good time till I notice, like, I sit back down, and then the girl's there with her friend, looking at her purse. And I don't know how, what she figured out, but there was enough in her to be like, maybe she's like, I left my purse here. And my wallet looks like, you know, maybe she had it a certain way in her purse and now it was a different way. But she checked that wallet and she immediately saw that all her money was gone. This is where it's like, man, yeah, I think I said in other videos, I was a shitty person. And so she starts crying. You know, she said, my money was here, that's my rent money or something, you know. And I was like, fuck, you know. And instinctually, I would to like preservation, survival mentality of just kind of like, as long as they don't check your sock, what are they going to say? You know what I mean? Like, because again, they don't know me. I'm hanging with them. I always sit by the fucking purse. But they never asked, like, yeah, they never did. They never accused me. No one said a fucking word to me. It was just that girl crying. her and her friend, and her friend consoling her. And I don't know. I think at that point I was like, well, I think it's time for him to leave, you know. Like, I'm just going to fucking disappear in the background here. On my way out, I see the girl, my friend, with this dude, this tall, older white dude. And she's greasing him up, I guess, you know. He kind of was like a giant dork to me, but he's loving it because he's got this like young girl, and she's all he you know, with him, and he's just like, yeah, then, yeah. And so I run into them on the way out. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna leave, or, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving, you're just gonna have something. She's like, she's like, this guy wants to hang out, let's go hang out with him. She was like me. She was an opportunist. And she saw this dude in this nice bar or restaurant or club at this point, who's all into her, that looks like he's got a good job, you know what I mean, kind of naive enough to not, so, you know what I mean, to like not be on the lookout for shapy people like us. And so I got the impression like, oh, okay, so like we're basically gonna, you know what I mean, like somehow take advantage of this dude. You know, I don't even know exactly yet, but I was like, right, he's like the target at this point, you know. Now I had just taken $400 in fact, so I was like, man, I'm on a roll. So at this point, they're closing the club down. He's like, we're going to go back to his hotel. He's thinking he's going to get laid from this girl. We end up walking, maybe. Again, it's a little town. And we end up walking or taxi or something. I don't know. But I do remember walking into this really nice hotel. And this area just got like the best hotels in the world. So it's like, I might have given something away right there of what this is. But we go into the lobby of this hotel, and there's nobody. It's so late, early in the morning, you know, that it's like just the person at the front of the counter. And I would just remember being like, oh, bro, this is, it's like I immediately felt exposed. You know, they were eyeballing us, but like, we just walked in. It's like, what is this guy doing with these people? And so we basically get the elevator opens up, and we go to his room. And so at this point, and it's a fucking hotel room, so even though it was in a super nice hotel, there wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't like, they get on the bed and they start making out or whatever, and I'm like, I want to see this shit, man. So I just like, you know, opened the mini bar and was like, okay, here we go. Like, I'm gonna have some drinks over here in this corner, I guess. So while they're there, I go, well, wait a minute, man. Like, this is it. Like, this guy is totally, you know, not, you know, thinking or not even processing what's happening. Like, he's into this girl. And they weren't naked or anything. The only reason I know that is because, like, I got up. At that point, I'm like, let me see what's in his fucking room. So right off the bat, boom, his wallet, another wallet, was on the table. And I was like, oh shit, I open it up, I pull the money out. There wasn't much money. There might have been like $100. I mean, it was still a good amount of money. And then I think I took his credit card. I'm not sure. And I'm still looking around my thing, anything else. So at this point, my friend, the girl, I think she's like, okay, he's out. He's like passed out or something. And I was like, oh, fucking A. She's like, give me the money or something like that. And I go, I was like, man, there's no, you know, I did it. This is Nate. There's no honor among thieves. I was like, dude, there was no money. She's like, stop fucking lying to me. Give me the money. And I'm like, dude, there was no money. I'm weird. And so, like, I start leaving. She comes after me. Because I think she knows there ain't much in that room. And she's like, I get all the fucking work done. You know what I mean? She's like, that's my money. And basically, we did her nail did her. And was lying down. And she's still like, give me the fucking money. I want my money. That's my money. And I'm like, there was no money, I'm telling you. And she just starts wailing on me in the elevator, trying to beat me up. And I didn't put my hands on her or anything, but they thought it was like, what the hell was going on in it? And it was almost comedic because she was going like a tornado, going crazy on me. And as soon as we hear a thing, we hit the lobby. She could just stopped completely, ding, and stood up straight and held her head in the air and walked out. And I followed her, and the guy opened the door for us. I said, thank you very much, sir. And I don't remember exactly what happened after that. I think she was like, you're an asshole, which I was, a big asshole. She probably walked her away and I walked mine. I don't remember much after that. I didn't intend, I didn't wake up that day and be like, well, I'm gonna rob these people, I'm gonna do this. It's definitely a part of my life that I'm not proud of. I don't talk about it at all to anybody. It's just not one of those things that I probably don't want to admit to myself.